Welcome to this tutorial. If you have ever been looking to make a book mock-up, specifically for people who are doing KDP print books, and you've ran across the Photoshop mock-ups and you've thought, I can't really do that because I don't know anything about Photoshop, hang on just one second. You most certainly can, and you barely need to know anything about Photoshop to pull this off. So when you're looking for these mockups, they'll basically be called Photoshop Smart Object mockups. And when you open one, it's going to look similar to this. And over here is where the magic's going to happen with these two little layers called cover and spine. So I've already taken the liberty of opening the files we're going to use. I create notebooks, and so the file for a KDP book looks like this. This is going to be your front cover, your spine, and your back cover all in one piece. Now, typically I used to try to make a separate file, just the front cover, which was basically a waste of time because you don't really need to do that. The second thing I'd like to note here is that I make books 7.5 by 9.25 inches. If you come back over here, you're going to see this mock-up is for an 8 by 10. But since the aspect ratios are basically the same, I can make this work. So if you're doing an 8 by 10 mock-up, it's going to go even smoother for you. You won't have to do any resizing if you've laid out your file correctly. So here we go. Okay, we want to put the cover on first. So we're going to go over here to this layer where it says cover, and this is your smart object layer. And we're going to double click here on the left-hand side on this little thumbnail. And what it's going to do is it's going to open another tab. And you'll see this tab, it's called layer1.psb. So I'm going to go over here to the file that I've decided I wanted to use for the cover, and I'm going to open it, and I'm going to hit select all, edit copy. I'm going to go back over to this layer 1 tab that it opened. And I'm going to hit edit paste. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Illustrator, where when you're going to resize something, you want to hit the shift key to keep it in proportion. Photoshop, for whatever reason, is exactly the opposite. I don't need to hit any keys. I just need to grab one of these little corners and pull. So I'm going to pull the top, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to pull the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my move tool, which is this 4-way crosshair looking item. And I'm just going to slide. Remember that file was a big file. It had the front and the back. So there it is. It's just hidden. And we're going to pull all the way until up. There's the edge. Now go back, make it line up. Easy peasy, right? Now hit File, Save. And then go back to your original file as soon as it's done saving. Actually, I lied. We're gonna do one more step. You're gonna like this. This is gonna make your life easy. Take your eyedropper tool, grab a little bit of this color here. You'll see it shows up in the color swatch window down here. Just save that for a minute later. Now, we already hit File Save. We're going back to our original file, and it's updated. There you go. There's your cover. Now we're going to double click on the spine. And I used to also pull in a separate 0.5 inch wide spine file for this. Again, a waste of time. Since this is the color of the spine, I'm just going to grab this little rectangle tool here. And I'm going to draw right over top of that spine. Doesn't have to be the same size because this is going to pull only what it needs. There you go. And then hit File, Save again. See, it opened another layer. This one happens to be layer 2. When I double clicked on the spine, it opened this layer here. Just for a reference so you know what's going on up here. This is still layer 1, our pretty little book. And this is layer 2, the spine. And we hit save already. Double check, make sure we did. Yep, we did. We hit save. Now go back to your original file. Just click on it and there you go. Your book it's done. Now, what's nice about this transparent background here for these mock-ups is you can add anything that you want to it. I happen to have added these couple of things behind there, and they were just literally made from the same rectangle that we used to make the spine. That's it. I just drew that rectangle across the background here. There, and I have a pretty little mock-up. It's all done. Thanks for watching. One last quick little side note, since we're assuming that you don't normally use Photoshop, once your book mockup is complete, go ahead and hit File, Export, Export As. It'll bring up another window here. If PNG is not already selected, go ahead and click this drop down arrow and select PNG. Also with Resample, I choose Preserve Details. It works out best for me as far as image clarity goes. And then go ahead and click on Export. Simply pay attention to where it's going to place your file and you are all done.